Defects, the Marvels has landed, and so have the spoilers and rumors. Defects, what is up? Welcome to another edition of Rumor Roundup. This is going to be a little different. This is going to be rumor slash spoiler. So be warned, there are spoilers ahead involving the Marvel's end credit scene. So we'll get into that. Matt, how you feeling?
Doing good, doing good. It's an interesting day, that's for sure. We had a rumor mill segment all set up, and it kind of got kiboshed. And the butcher will explain why, but we altered it a little bit. So, like Jay said, spoiler warning, boys and girls.
Yeah, like Matt was saying, we had rumors of certain characters showing up in the Marvels movie. Those kind of got debunked today on social media with people posting spoilers. So, again, guys, I can't warn you enough. There are spoilers in this video. So, you want to get into it, Maddie?
Let's do it. Let's show them the rumors, and let's show them some books that go along with it.
That's it. So, guys, we all know the Marvels is coming out this week. There's all been a bunch of rumors tied to this. We know everybody's expecting a flop here. We're looking at to tie some pieces together. I know the season finale of Loki is coming out actually tomorrow. We're filming this video, and it ties right into the Marvels.
That's what they're saying. And it seems like they dropped last week a final kind of a teaser trailer that hinted at some characters that we've seen before pre MCU. Jay,
Yeah, I think they dropped those rumors purposely to get people into this movie because it was a power move, guys. If you didn't know what those rumors were, it was heavily speculated that they threw in Xmen Easter eggs into the trailer to kind of get people in to see this movie because they know pre-sales weren't doing too good as expected. So Matt, I say we just dig right into it, brother.
let's get there. So part of the last trailer slash teaser, you have this hexagon shape, which we've kind of come to know as something of a, whether it's an incursion or another a tear into another reality. That's what we've kind of become to see that as in the MCU. It looks like Carol Danvers here, some type of change is occurring. I don't know if she's getting sucked into this other dimension, she's being shot back through, or she's changing altogether. So probably the most far fetched of everything we're going to talk about today was Carol Danvers changing. There's another change that occurs in comics that a lot of people are speculating, and we're going to talk about. Jay's going to talk about that next. But I wanted to kind of grab something from a more recent run of Captain Marvel. I'm pretty sure this isn't the case, but it's just like a fun little, almost like a little comic book history lesson, and it's not too long ago. So this kind of reminded me, like me and Jay were talking about this. We said, what are the possibilities here? I don't want to ruin the other ones, but one of them was Dark Captain Marvel. All right. And if you guys remember from the 2018 Captain Marvel series that started in 2018, this book, the number 12, actually came out in 2019. We got a Dark Captain Marvel. That was the new story arc that started at number 12. And it was because she was kind of under the influence or control of the Vox Supreme, which also first appears in this issue number 12. And she just goes ballistic. She starts killing Avengers. It's a crazy storyline. So if you haven't read it, it's not a bad one. But you could see her there on the cover. She has that red. She has that. And actually, the next cover has the kind of the illusion that you're seeing there on the screen. I'll flip back. It kind of has a similar feel to this. So we said, let's throw a far-fetched one out there that'll kind of get people into like reading a little bit. You know, maybe it's not a spec. I wouldn't run out and buy this book. It's a pretty dope cover. You got cover A, you got the Brooks version, and then actually I have the 1 in 100 color spot version, which is such a dope cover. So again, first appearance of Vox Supreme. I don't think that has anything to do with this, but the Dark Captain Marvel character is here. We heard there could be some changes from Captain Marvel. Again, I know it's far fetched, so this is the least probable rumor slash spoiler that we have today, Jay.
Looking to clean and press your books before submission? Well, look no further than the best in the business, Erod 212 with Express Comic Book Pressing Service. Defects 10 gets you 10% off. Erod will submit your books to CGC and CBCS and pass along his discount. Hit him up on Instagram or email expresscbp@yahoo.com. All right, guys. So here's where the heavy spoilers come in, guys. So if you don't want to be spoiled, this is my last warning to you. This is what we seen in the trailer, right? We saw Monica Rambeau in the background and a figure that everyone believed to be Storm. Back in that computer, guys, if you zoom in, you could see the X-Men logo in that lower right-hand side of the computer screen, that old school X-Men logo. Everybody thought this was Storm coming in. I thought this was Storm coming in, but that has kind of been debunked. I'm 99.9% sure with all of the spoilers today I seen on Instagram for people that pre-saw the movie and kind of took pictures and videos of the end credits scene. Guys, this is not Storm. Matt, if you can
Yep.
move forward,
Spoiler again.
who this
Spoiler
is,
warning. Spoiler warning. So if you don't want to know what happens, tune out and come back and watch the video after you see the movie.
absolutely. Guys, who this character is Maria Rambeau. We all know her as Monica Rambeau's mother. She has kind of a pivotal point in the MCU at this point, right? She's died of cancer. She has come back in Doctor Strange in that alternate universe. And now she is back again, guys. So, Mighty Avengers number 246 from 1984. Al Milgram on the art, Roger Stern on the writing, guys. A book that we have talked about in the past and a book that is on the low right now. So if you don't have this in your collection and you're a fan of these MCU movies, if you're a fan of Maria Rambeau, Monica Rambeau, moving forward, a book you should definitely be on the lookout for because it looks like she is coming back as a huge, huge character moving forward in the MCU.
And the last time we saw her, she was playing. She was not that she was posing at, but in a different reality, a different. In Doctor Strange, we saw her as Captain Marvel, right? And we saw her in the MCU in the reality that we know, and she had passed away. Correct, Jay? Is that where we left off with Maria Rambeau
Ye-
last?
That yes, that's
All right,
where we left off.
here we go, Jay. This is a big one.
All right, here it is, guys. Who she is coming back, and who that character you do see walking by Monica Rambeau is binary, guys. So the MCU switching stuff up again. She will be moving forward as binary, guys. Um, I'll get into that character in a second, but again, two books that I'm sure most of you know: X-Men number 163 and 164. The 163 is the origin and kind of the story how binary became about, and of course that X-Men 164 is her actual first appearance. But guys, here's the difference in this. This is Carol Danvers as binary, right? It's not Maria Rambeau. She has never been binary. So we always talk about the first appearance of the actual character and the actual appearance of the superhero. Eddie Brock, Venom, we talk about those type of books. Too hot. These books been hot forever. At Claremont and Cockrum run, probably the greatest storytelling in X-Men history. So two books to be on the lookout for, guys. And the kind of the backstory with Carol Danvers and Binary, she was on an adventure with the X-Men in space. She was kidnapped by the Brood, who we'll get into later, and we'll get into more X-Men later. They ran experiments on her, thus making her binary. So it does make sense. And just keep that in mind. Adventures with the X-Men, kidnapped by the Brood. The following books and rumors we're going to talk about, or not actually spoilers we're going to talk about, will all put together at the end, and it makes perfect sense, guys.
Speaking of the Brood, Jay,
Yeah, and here we go, guys. X-Men number 155 from 1982. Again, Cockrum and Claremont on this run. The first full appearance of the Brood and the Brood Queen. What the Brood was, guys, if you read those X-Men issues, they're basically an insectoid alien race that conducted experiments on people and placed their eggs into people. So this is something we could be seeing moving forward with the X-Men now being in the MCU, which we'll talk about again. So, I mean, I know the Marvels is probably going to be a trash movie, right? At this point, everyone's thinking that. But moving forward, I like that the fact that they could possibly be setting up the Brood. And this is kind of like me and Matt talked, a deep dive right here. But since Maria Rambeau has been gone, she is binary now. It only makes sense that the Brood is the one that created her into being this, unless they take it in a total different direction. But again, a deep dive and a book you might want to be on the lookout for before we get more confirmation of the Brood.
Yeah, I like that because either way, you'll see later on, like Jay said, we'll talk more X-Men. And if we do get binary, there's a possibility that long term that this is a team or an appearance with the Brood Queen that we could see. People have been picking this book up for years, so nothing new, but it could start getting even hotter than it was. So
And Matt, so the Brood has ties, like it went in all different directions. And later on, the Brood Queen actually had became good and had her race in the comic series Planet Hulk. So we have I'm gonna go back and watch Ragnarok. We may have already seen
true,
the
the
Brood
Beast
in the
already.
MCU and not known it. So do your homework, guys. Let's go back and look at it. I haven't looked at it since doing this video, but I will definitely go back and look at that to see if there's anything that actually resembles an insect alien race that
Like
resembles
that.
them.
That's a good point. So everybody in the comments, you got homework. Let us know. Type a comment in. All right, the last part of the spoiler, and again, it's not 100% confirmed because a lot of these were taken down today. So who knows what's actually really happening? But we did see. This is what we're hearing. This is what we saw before it was taken down. But the second part of the kind of the big end credit scene was Jay. We get Beast. Okay. Now we don't
Yes.
know if if we don't know if it's Beast from the Fox universe, if it's just another version of Beast that we haven't, that's in the MCU. The rumors we were hearing leading up to this, which is what the original video was going to be about, is that the Fox X-Men were going to be pulled into our reality at the end of the Marvels. So we're going to keep going with that theme, Jay. And Jay's got a couple books for us. Um, you know, because clearly, again, they're starting to set the stage for the X-Men. They basically made the Marvels about even if you don't like the movie, come see it because it's setting up what's going to happen in the future. It's huge. That's what they're trying to tell everybody, Jay. So we got a couple books here for the Beast.
Yeah, so and it makes sense too because listen guys, we already have Miss Marvel technically as the first mutant in the MCU. And for her to be in this movie, now we have a second mutant, right? We have the Beast. There was a clear picture of him. He kind of resembled the animated series Beast, but Beast books are expensive, guys. We all know he first appeared in X-Men #1, but he had different forms, right? He was in a human form and kind of jumped around like the Beast does. I try to pick out some books that weren't too expensive that may you see a spike. We all know the X-Men, that's
Yeah.
out of range. X-Men #1 is out of range for a lot of people. So we do have Amazing Adventures #11. What this book is when he went from his human form, if you want to kind of call him that, to turned into the beast with his gray fur and the beast we all know and love. Um, on the right hand side, we have when he first appears with his blue fur, which is how most 80s, 90s, and everyone before that remembers the Beast, guys. So, again, two books that aren't too out of range, but books to definitely be on the lookout for, and that you'll probably see a spike in and make a whole bunch of lists in the next couple of days with these spoilers and the movie coming out on Friday.
All right. So usually we kind of we give not we usually don't give the spoiler warning. We usually give the kind of the speculation warning. So obviously some of these books, even though they're attached to a rumor or in two of the cases they're attached to an actual spoiler, you still got to be careful with what you buy. So just kind of the regular speculation warning. This isn't a call to make sure you run out and buy these books. So do your own homework, figure out if these are books that you want in your collection because you know what? Do we see these characters moving forward or are they one and done? The Beast being, having the scientist background, it kind of makes sense, Jay. Like we were talking about this earlier, that he's kind of the first X-Men that we see. I'm sure people aren't going to like that he's the first X-Men that we see, but with everything happening between Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, and Photon slash Spectrum, clearly they have no, they need a helping hand to figure out what the hell's going on, especially with an alternate reality and tears in the space time continuum. So it kind of does fit. So again, do your research, figure out if you really believe in these characters going forward, especially. I think specifically the Maria Rambeau books, because Maria Rambeau, it's a really cheap book and she was never a hero in comics. So is her first appearance going to
Right.
carry weight, or is that binary book just going to keep going through the roof? So, I mean, that's all I have to say on it, Jay. If you want to wrap it up from here, it's all yours, buddy.
No, yeah, no, I was gonna say, people may not want to see the Beast as the first actual X-Man to come into the MCU, but what I could see is him explaining. He's a scientist. He's probably one of the smartest X-Men. Him explaining exactly what happened, maybe where Maria's been to Monica, and kind of piecing everything together moving forward. So it does make sense. And guys, you already know every Tuesday and Thursday, dropping all different content on our Pressable Defects YouTube channel. Um, be on the lookout for us on Whatnot Thursday nights, 8:45 p.m. after Gary and Erod go. Once a month on the Defective Collective on Very Gary's channel. So, guys, if you're not following us on Whatnot, follow us there. If you're not following us here, please hit that like button if you like the video. Subscribe to our channel. Leave comments. We like to interact with everybody, kind of get everybody's theory. Until the next time, guys, we'll catch you.